I always get somebody chuckling, and I can't figure out why they chuckle. It's like, why do they chuckle at that? Because I'm so young and handsome, and young and cute. I don't know, but we're young, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like we look like. I mean, I'm still look young, but that's really. I try to grow.
I would never buy
try.
insurance for that guy.
You know?
I was just thinking I would never buy insurance for
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, can you believe that? Yeah, so we made 20 grand that year and then 100 grand the next year, looking like that. That'll give you all hope. Right? All right? And so what do you like to do, right? I don't know what you like to do. I love to hunt and outdoors and, all that kind of stuff. And, I don't know what you like to do, but that's what I like to do, right? And so, this was fun going up and shooting bears with our bows and, deer and, elk, and this year I'm going to go shoot a Yukon moose hopefully in Alaska and a couple other hunting. Just fun. I mean, to me, I love doing that kind of stuff. But for the first 5 years, I didn't do any of this stuff. I wanted to, but I said no. I'm going to put it on the back burner for 4 or 5 years. We're supposed to be willing to do. That's what I'm supposed to say. No. So again, you got to be like only 5% are willing to do it. Now, yeah, you still get 2 vacations a year. Still better than your girl life, right? But you just need to choose to be the 5%. You get to choose that, all right? What are things? Whoops, that was my bad. Oh, is that me or?
You didn't get enough of that picture?
Yeah, really. Okay. So, having fun stuff, and doing fun stuff, and with your kids and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't need a nice boat like that. I don't need a house like that. I don't need to get a razor. These are sweet, by the way. I don't need this. And I know you don't need them. Of course you don't need them. But guess what? They're going to keep making them and keep building them. Someone's going to buy them. Why not you? I mean, they're there, So, plus, when you buy this kind of stuff, you know how many jobs you fill? You know how many people it took to build that boat or build that house? Or you're feeding their family. And I'm kind of joking, but I'm serious. Right? That really is the honest truth. You need to start changing how you think about money. Because you're almost raised to be so conservative and, just live. Live like, I think you should live below your means. But why not live below your means if that's below your means? Right? You know what I'm saying? Travel. Where do you like to go? Most people have never seen these places, like Venice, Italy. This is Positano, Italy. This is in the Bahamas. This is France. This is Monte Carlo. Anybody ever been there? You've never been there. Not one person.
I dream in
saw it on
pictures.
Madagascar.
Yeah, you saw Iron Man. You saw it in Iron Man too. Okay. See, isn't it crazy? Like, you're however old you are, you haven't seen these places yet, and they're all out there. You'll see. You want to experience. The reason you need to experience it is because it gets you out of this bubble. Okay? Because we're raised in a bubble, meaning you're raised around what you think is just normal, and you go to a place like this. You know what's normal here? Like Ferraris, Bugattis, yachts, normal. We're talking just crazy amounts of income. And you see that and you go, and there's a lot of people that make a lot of money. And you actually see, you go, oh my gosh, if they all, and they're not that smart, a lot of them. They're definitely no better than you or I. They just have learned to think differently. Okay? That's all it is. But when it comes down to it, I know some of you, okay, all I talk about is money. You're going to tell your friends, yeah, you're going to tell the person, all you just talk about money, just turn me off. And, okay, whatever. So, we're going to talk about what's really important, because money isn't the most important thing. I know that, okay? You know what's really important, though? Is all the things that God sees important, okay? And the question I have for you tonight is, when is your time going to come when someone's going to need you to come through, and are you going to be ready? When it really comes down to it, you might end up having somebody who's really sick, and they need money to continue to do whatever. Medical bills, keep them home from work, retire them, I don't know. Could be your parents, could be a sibling, could be somebody you just care about. And are you going to be ready? And I think when things are, if you're healthy, you live in America, you got an opportunity like this, you got to go while the getting's good, because you never know. Your rainy day, you're going to have a rainy day. You're going to have rainy days. That's life. You got to be ready for those times, okay? And some of you are already dealing with rainy days right now, and even more reason to get this going, okay? So think about this, importance of example, right? So these are our kids, and sort of our little boy Bridger. I think to myself, man, am I good enough to be a dad? Am I good enough? I don't know, right? With God's help, I'm good enough. Definitely not by myself, right? But I'll tell you, kids learn this next slide here. They really do learn more from what we are more than what we say or teach. And I'm pretty sure that's not a real picture, because I'm pretty sure he would eat that. Right? But kids are very observant, and I think that down the road, if one of your kids found out that you were at a Primerica meeting tonight, maybe 15 years down the road, they go, "Hey, Dad, weren't you at a Primerica meeting 15 years ago? I remember being home, you were there. And why didn't you join?" I mean, what are you going to tell them? "I was afraid. Thought it was a scam." 15 years from now, we're an even bigger company, and some of their buddies are making big money, and they got their friends' parents that are making big money to RVPs. What are you going to tell them? I'm just something to think about. I mean, we've been around a long time. That happens to people. Anybody know Shania's brother, Mark? You guys know Shania, right?
I know her personally.
Shania's brother, Mark Twain. So I can help anyone get what they want in life. The problem is, I can't find anybody who knows what they want. And that really is a big challenge for most people. If I went out and asked you, what do you really want? You couldn't tell me. Now, you used to know what you wanted when you were growing up, and before reality hit you, right? And you had, how many of you agree when you were in high school or graduating, and you had the ideal life in mind of how it was going to be when you were married with kids? All of you have that? Am I the only one? Is it like that now today? Okay. So what happens? You say life or reality, right? Well, look, it's time for you to start dreaming again and get that life that you always thought about having back then and make it happen, okay? Because you're supposed to live that ideal life like you thought. Like when I was growing up, I remember I'm going to have a boat, I'm going to have nice cars, a nice house, I'm going to have kids, I'm going to have, I remember thinking all that kind of stuff, right? Nice yard, nice, have a second, maybe a cabin, I want to make a lot of money, didn't know how I was going to do it, but I'm going to make a lot of money, right? Going to be I'm playing the NBA or whatever, you have those dreams. And then you give up on those later in life, right? So don't give up on that stuff. You can get it, okay? Here's the thing. All truth passes through 3 stages. You're going to join and start your business. What's going to happen is you're going to get ridiculed at first, okay, by those around you. They're going to kind of make fun of you. Yeah, you're the AAA guy. Yeah, AAA guy, whatever, right? And then they're going to violently oppose you. Like, don't talk about that Primerica thing. You can come to the family barbecue, but don't bring up Primerica, right? So then you're gonna not say anything about it. Just stay focused on your business, build it, become successful. A couple of years go by, you put an RVP, you put one of these rings on your finger. Your family starts hearing from other people that you're doing well, really well. Like they see on Facebook, you post one of your paychecks, $20,000 for a month, and then you're accepted. And they go, "Man, I'm so proud of you. I need you to do it." It's accepted. It's going to work just like that. I'm giving you a preview before it's going to happen. You know how I know that? I lived it. I lived it, man. That's exactly how it is. We used to we'd be having Sunday dinner at Lexi's, my wife's parents' house, and we'd have some of our teammates stop by and have to grab some stuff from us because they were working. And so they'd stop by, and so we'd have to go. Just one time we were just about to say the prayer, and somebody knocked the door, and her sister goes, "Who is it?" She goes, "Oh, it's one of our teammates." And we just go hand the form real quick. So she gets up to hand the form, and her sister goes, "Working on Sunday," right? And now today, they don't say crap because they're freaking broke, and they know we're not. And they see how we live and how unstressed we are. It is the best revenge in the world. Now, I love our family, okay? But and you go, "Well, do they work with you?" No, isn't that retarded? I'm sure I know it's not politically correct, but that's retarded. It's dumb, right? They just be broken with us, I know. Anyway, so getting started, right? What do you do, okay? The goal when you get started with our company is to be in a position when you're licensed to be a district leader, okay? So you want to get your fast start of work, be able to go out on your own, you want to know your stuff. So this office is really starting to take off right now. We need a lot more field trainers in this office. That means you know what you're doing. We have audios you gotta be learning from. I mean, you gotta be ready to go out on your own, like quick. You know, when we had our biggest explosion in our office, we had people go out on 2 or 3 appointments, and then we're like, and that's a pretty basic process. And we're like, hey, you gotta go. Because we were just popping them out because we had to get people. We were recruiting new people. They needed to be trained, and we never wanted to have to reschedule appointments. We had all these appointments get set up, and we don't have to call the client and say, hey, we can't make it, we don't have the field trainers, right? So we would just start getting new people out to go see them because we have such a simple system, we can do that, okay? So those of you that are licensed, you need to be, I got this, I'm going, right? You need to get that point right now. You need to get to the point where you don't need your, like I hated being the trainee. I hated being the trainee, right? I want to be the trainer, right? You want to have a team, you don't have an agency right away when you start, okay? A client base already established, referrals, okay? So you want to be the trainer as soon as possible after this meeting. Do your own financial needs analysis if you haven't done that already, so you got to become a client, you got to believe it. I mean, if you don't believe in this enough to own it yourself, you're going to have a tough time convincing anybody else that they need to do it, right? I'm not even sure why you would do it if you don't believe enough to do it for yourself. And start being a qualified people to take your trainer to, okay? Married, kids, you know, people that have good jobs. And then begin setting appointments that you and your trainer can go. Your trainer's going to do all the work in the beginning and show you how all that stuff works. And then this is big. You need to really commit to showing up at all meetings and conference calls. So like every Wednesday night, you got to be here. This is your, like you commit to 40, 50, 60 hours a week at your job, okay? Commit to a couple times a week to be on a conference call or be here for a couple hours. For a business that's going to pay you 10 times what your job's ever going to pay you, okay? Remember some things here, okay? Be prepared when you're talking to people. Most aren't prepared for the way they're treated when they start Primerica. And what I mean by that is you're going to be ridiculed. You are going to be ridiculed. Because you're the plumber. You're the FedEx driver. You're the school teacher. You're the office manager. Whatever you are, you're not a financial services expert, so okay, so just be ready for that. It's gonna, you know, tough enough? Yep. Or are you a precious snowflake? Okay? Your friends, family, and coworkers don't want you to make it because it makes them look, well, they think it makes them look bad, okay? It doesn't really, but they think it does. And they can't imagine their little brother getting involved in something and beating the pants off them, right?
Misery loves company.
Yeah, misery loves company, right? Crab in the bucket.